Oh, you just never know. You never know what's going to make it through. It's not an easy process. And I think that's one thing a lot of people don't realize about the legislative process is it's not just so simple as to write a bill and then it becomes a law, it's sent to the governor. So much more to it than that. But they are at the stage in the game where bills that have originated in one side of the legislature have come out of committee and have been voted on the floor by the entire body of that side and sent over to the other side where the process starts all the way back over. Of course, I will most definitely keep you updated on what is going on, especially as far as legislation that concerns education. There is a bill I was looking at last night. It's one that Nancy Loom opposes, and she had posted about it. HB 1944 would be a change to our tax credits. And basically, this is an expansion of the Children's Promise Act. Yeah, the Children's Promise Act. And so what this bill would do, it expands and will revise the state tax credit program for business contributions to certain eligible charitable organizations that serve vulnerable children. And to give you more of a definition of what that means, it will allow unused credits after October 1st of a calendar year to be reallocated across categories to applicants who were previously unable to receive credits due to annual limits. In short, the bill will significantly expand the size of the tax credit program and add flexibility to ensure available credits are fully utilized each year. It's crazy because you wonder how much money is enough money to fund education in the state of Mississippi, because what we have seen happen year after year after year is our legislature has given more and more money to education, yet we don't seem to be seeing results from more money being given to education. I mean, I can tell you kind of what my opinion is. I think that we're giving way too much money to administration. We have some of the highest paid superintendents across the country. And what is there to show from that? Yes, we've made gains here in Mississippi in education, but when you still have 2/3 of 8th graders who can't read on grade level, there's a problem. There is a problem. So there's still much, much work to be done. And when you see gains happening, when you see good things happening across the board in an area, why would you just stop there? Let's keep trying to make it better. Let's keep expanding on those education goals and gains. Now, look, I'm not even going to lie. I got fired up about something yesterday. And I know y'all can't believe that, can you? It seems shocking. Me fired up over something? I was actually walking through the aisles of Kroger and I got a text message from my 14-year-old's school. By the way, my 14-year-old did not go to school this morning. I did not allow her to go to school this morning, and I'm about to tell you why. The text message that I received at 4:02 p.m. yesterday. Now, everyone leaves the school at 4, straight up. So there's nobody there to talk to after 4. I get a text that says, on Wednesday, February 18th, we will conduct school-wide safety drills, including an intruder drill beginning at 9:30 a.m. We are sharing this information in advance. I mean, if you can call that in advance. I guess technically it was in advance, but a little heads up would have been nice here to provide you with the opportunity to speak with your child and address any questions or concerns he or she may have. Practicing these procedures helps ensure that students and staff are prepared and that clear plans are in place in the event of an emergency. In the case of an actual emergency, school officials will communicate promptly with both law enforcement and parents. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact us at, and then they share the number. Well, there's nobody there to answer that number. Really does you no good, right? Well, I have a big problem with this. And I think this problem is probably shared by a lot of parents across the country. We live in a time where our kids are already stressed, especially after the last few weeks when we saw these bomb threats being made at one of our elementary schools, my children's elementary school. Now, my 14-year-old is very tenderhearted. I can't tell you how many times she texts me asking about the bomb threats, and you could tell that it really was something that concerned her. As soon as she found out about it, we weren't home, I was in the car right line with my 3 younger elementary school children headed to the school when we got turned around, but she panicked. Those are her siblings, and it scared her. So I sent an email. I sent an email to the school counselors and to I CC'd the superintendent and the upcoming superintendent. I told them I received the email that was sent at 4:02 PM concerning an intruder safety drill. I asked if it was only taking place at Madison Middle School or will it be district-wide. I told them that although your email included a number to call if I had any questions, no one was available to take my call given that it was after 4 PM. I told them I had never gotten an email like this before. My children have never mentioned anything about an intruder drill. I asked if it was a new policy at Madison County Schools, and if so, to please direct me where I can find it. Also wanted to know exactly what the details were of this particular drill. I told them that it makes me very uncomfortable, especially considering the very sensitive subject matter and the extremely short notice given to parents. Many children, including my daughter, have dealt with traumatic situations, including loss, death, and grief. And do the benefits outweigh the risk here? Are there studies to show that? I told them that my daughter would not be attending school today. I told them I could not make a decision on such an important matter unless I am aware of more details and more information. I then pulled up the Madison County Schools student handbook and went to page 53, which is the section on emergency drills and school security. What that says, and this is in the student and parent handbook, it says that school security is one of the nation's top priorities and remains a top priority in our district as well. The district works with local, state, and national entities to offer training opportunities in our district, which emphasize prevention. Emergency drills are conducted periodically on each campus within Madison County Schools. Emergency procedures are in place, and the principal and all staff are knowledgeable and well trained in the implementation of these procedures. Nowhere in there, nowhere in the handbook, nowhere in that section does it talk about active shooter or intruder type of drills. So, have we considered the benefits versus the risks of this? These are children. Their brains are not even fully developed. They've just been put through knowing that their siblings, at least a lot of them have siblings, that attend a school where there were bomb threats called in day after day, where school was shut down for 3 days straight. And now we want to pretend like there's an intruder in the school. I'll tell you what, screw that. Screw that. You know what you do? The legislature right here in Mississippi should fund. We're going to spend so much money on education, more and more every single year. They should fund a school resource officer at every single door of every single school. And I do not want to hear that we don't have the money to do that. We find the money for everything else. Why not this? Put metal detectors in place. Lock the schools down. Protect our children. Don't make them pretend like there's an intruder in their school. What kind of effect does that have on a child? Does anybody know? (601-879-0002) is the number to call in. 601-879-4648 is our text line. I think somebody had just asked for the text line. Dan, I have plenty of logic here. And before you say something like that, why don't you go read some of the studies that have been done? This isn't healthy for children. It's traumatic. Now, the principal did call me. We had about a 20-minute conversation, and I will tell you everything that was said and where we left it. But we got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. There's so much more to break down here, and we will be right back here on The Lindsey Beckham Show. And we will be right back here on The Lindsey Beckham Show.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us at our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our Sweet the Swamp Pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun Flint or dive into a Sweet the Swamp Pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all of the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have the time to keep growing and to keep up with changing payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save letting People Lease handle our payroll and benefits administration. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
The best investment on earth is earth. This is real estate agent Shane Saxton. As I like to say, the government can print more money, but they can't print more land. In the past 2 years, I've sold over $100 million in real estate. Call me today to get your land and home sold, because Saxton Sales isn't just a slogan. It's backed up by hundreds of satisfied clients just like you.
Find one of Mississippi's top real estate agent, Shane Saxton, on Facebook, or call Shane at 601-540-5040. Hopper Property, 601-724-1435.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue. Come together.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Seems like this is probably going to be a divisive topic. Obviously, I feel very strongly, as I do on many, many things concerning education, and I think a lot of it with me stems from the fact that I see the worst of the worst in my job with Moms for Liberty. I see the worst of the worst across the country. And so when I see any little bit of that start to pop up here, I'm balls to the wall. Now, I will definitely give credit where credit is due. Madison Middle School's principal, Mr. Adams, did call me after he received my email. I'm guessing it was forwarded to him. He did call me after hours, and I appreciate that. I missed his call. I was cooking dinner. I called him back. He missed my call, but then he called me back after that, and we spoke for about 20 minutes. And I expressed my concern with this. I asked him, what exactly does this consist of? He told me basically it's how to lock down the school. We're practicing how we would lock down the school if we need to do that in an emergency type situation. So my question to him was, then why is it not called a lockdown drill? Why are we putting the word intruder into this? And Dan, I see your comments and I understand what you're saying, and you do want people to be prepared. But you will never make me believe, not for 1 second, that 12, 13, and 14-year-olds are going to remember what they were taught in a drill should there actually be an active shooter walk into their school. They are going to panic and freak out. They are not going to be thinking about what they learned in a safety drill. I remember doing weather type safety drills when I was in school. That was scary enough. So I asked Mr. Adams, I said, well, where is this policy? Because I want to see it. He told me, I don't know. I said, well, who set the policy? And he said the school district, and that there has to be an intruder safety drill done once a semester in all Madison County schools. Yet, nobody can show me that policy. Who voted on it? What is the wording? What does it look like? Why aren't you telling parents what this consists of? Is there going to be someone that walks into the door of my daughter's middle school with a fake gun in hand and a mask on, running down the hallways pretending like they're a school shooter? Is what's going to happen? I don't know, because you haven't told me anything. And guess what? I'm the parent here. There has got to be more transparency in public education. I do not co-parent with the government. My rights do not stop at the classroom door, period. I make those decisions. I decide if my child can emotionally handle something like that, not a public school, not a school board or a public school administration. That is my job. And I got a text during the break on our text line, and I completely agree with this mom. She is concerned because she has a special needs child. I know exactly what that's like because I have one myself. They thrive on consistency and routine. And when you remove that, it's utter chaos. And we don't know what's going on in their little brains. They're just children, for heaven's sake. It's sad enough that we live in a world where we even have to think about such things. But to terrify children, to me, is not helping anything. If I had been put through that type of drill at middle school age, I would have had nightmares. It would have truly impacted me. And I feel like there are a lot of children out there like that, sensitive, emotional. They worry. They're scared. There's people calling in bomb threats to their siblings' elementary school. Oh, and now we're going to do an intruder drill. We're going to make you pretend. I don't think so. Not okay with that. Not okay with that at all. There should absolutely be clear policy posted. Parents should be given ample time to decide how to proceed. If their child can handle something like that. Now, Mr. Adams did tell me, I think I may have said this, but he did tell me there is not someone that comes in and pretends to be an active shooter. And again, my question to him is, then why are we calling this intruder? Why are we saying this word that can instill fear into the hearts and the minds of our innocent and most vulnerable? Why are we doing that? What is the reason? What is the purpose for that? Call it a lockdown drill, emergency lockdown preparation. Call it that. Publish the policy. Make parents well aware prior, not at 4:02 p.m. the day before. So as I started to look at some of this, there are many, many public schools that do participate in these types of drills. I think one of the latest statistics said as much as 90% of schools across the country. But do these drills really make students safer? Or are we risking instilling trauma and fear into our children? New research shows that while some drills build confidence, others, especially the realistic or deceptive ones, can cause fear, anxiety, and lasting emotional distress. Best practices include calm drills that are clearly communicated in advance to school personnel, parents, and students. I think that's my biggest problem here. I need to know. If my child comes home from school and is having nightmares all of a sudden and asking me questions about death and school violence and tragedy, I need to know that it is stemming from something that happened at school. How can I know if I'm not made aware? If the school does not relay that information to me? Now, I'm thankful that we have at least the milder version of these types of drills. I think the reason why it ignited such an emotional response in me when I received the text is because I have seen some schools across this country and what they do to children in these drills. They do not tell them that there's a drill. They bring in a person with a mask and a weapon. And students think it's real. They make these students believe that it is really happening. And that's what they call a drill. Now, if I'd found out that's what was going on, I might be in jail right now. So thankfully, they're not going that far here in Madison County schools where my children attend. But the best thing they could do is learn how to be more transparent. Parents absolutely have a right to know this, and not 17 hours in advance, days, weeks, months in advance. Clearly what it will consist of. Because the text they sent me didn't give me any of that information. I had no idea until I spoke with Mr. Adams, the principal at Madison Middle School. I will also say, I was very impressed that he called me and he spent that much time on the phone with me. And then he told me, if you would like to come be at the school and watch it, we will gladly welcome you. I appreciate that very much. He told me what time it would be ending if I wanted to keep my daughter home until it was over, which I did. I took her in to school around 10 this morning. I appreciate that he was understanding, and I appreciate that he listened. I listened to him, he listened to me. And that's what should happen. That's the way we get the best outcomes in education for our children, when school administration and teachers and parents can all work together to do what's best for those children. So you best believe I will be advocating for some language changes, clearer policy, and more notice when it comes to these types of drills. There's a lot more. Yes, Ashley, I'll talk about that. I got to take a break, but when we get back, I'll talk about that, where those are happening, and just the outcry, the rage that parents have felt when they find out their children went through an experience like that and nobody let them know. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show, WIAB 103.9.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Back with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun Flint or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
CBS News Brief. There's a search underway in California near Lake Tahoe for 9 missing skiers who vanished during an avalanche. The conditions are treacherous, according to Russell Green with the sheriff's office.
The interstate's closed. The area is very tough to access, and the more people that we have up there, the higher chance of another incident happening.
Additional DNA testing on evidence in the Nancy Guthrie case is ongoing, as Andres Gutierrez reports.
The other thing they're working on is visiting local gun shops, trying to figure out where this person bought that firearm, where they bought that holster.
Carter Evans is covering the social media trial in Los Angeles, where Mark Zuckerberg is testifying about the possible harms to youth.
I think you're going to hear Zuckerberg say that they've created a lot of tools to make their make the site safe for children, but then you're going to hear the plaintiff's attorney say a lot of those tools do not work.
On Wall Street, stocks are higher. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie.
Homeowners and business owners, are your gutters and roof storm ready? The folks at Elite Roofing and Gutters are your local experts in storm protection. The team is dedicated to fortifying your residential or commercial location against the elements. Now is the time for an inspection and for proactive solutions that ensure your roof and gutters can withstand any storm. Elite Roofing and Gutters. Online at eliteroofer.com. eliteroofer.com.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness in Mississippi. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Your pool should be something you enjoy, not something you fight with. Hi, I'm Darren with Elite Pools. At Elite Pools, we do more than just service. We take care of everything your pool needs, from your routine maintenance to your full repairs, upgrades, and even complete transformations. If your pool needs a little attention or a fresh start, then Elite Pools can bring it back to life. Visit Elite Pools online at elitepoolsms.com. That's elitepoolsms.com. Or give us a call. At Elite Pools, we keep you swimming.
Back in 1984, we started the fast service oil change, and for over 40 years, Rapid Oil Change has been the leader in oil changes and fast service. We accept most major fleets and offer local 30-day in-house accounts as well. We do more than just change oil. From tires, wiper blades, tire sensors, just to name a few. Don't forget to show your ride some love with a trip to our Laser Wash 360, the best touchless wash in town, open 24/7. If you're not driving hard with Castrol Edge, come see us today. 6 locations, 6 days a week. We're ready to serve. OilChangeMS.com.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
Come together.
Welcome back into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can call in today, 601-879-0002, if you have anything you would like to add or comment. You can also text our text line, 601-879-4648 if there is anything you would like to say through text. Now, right before the break, we were talking about some schools who have taken it a step further when it comes to these active shooter or intruder type of safety drills, emergency drills in schools across the country. In fact, states like New York and Ohio, get this, y'all, they even have the intruder, air quotes in the studio, shoot blanks in the school hallways without the children knowing it's a drill. Talk about livid. I'm telling you what, somebody's head would be on a platter if that happened in one of my children's schools. I kid you not. I've read study after study, and they all say the same thing. This is too much. This is too much for children. And then, of course, we're still continuing to mandate this. A 2025 report by the National Academics of Science, Engineering, and Medicine produced a committee of experts in education, child development, public safety, and mental health. They reviewed the very limited research on the matter, and there was a wide variation in how the schools conduct the drills, as I was just talking about. But the committee found that while nearly all schools carry out some version, there are no national standards on how they should be conducted, and there are mixed findings on their impact. This gap leaves educators caught between the goal of preparing students and the risk of inflicting emotional and psychological harm. They also looked at, do drills really prepare children? There's also limited research to show whether these drills keep students and staff safer in an emergency. A 2024 review found that the calmly conducted lockdown drills with clear steps can help build confidence in real-life crisis situations, but active shooter drills, which sometimes rely on frightening tactics, show mixed results. The sense of readiness comes with a trade-off. Again, risk versus benefit. Many researchers and mental health experts warn that these types of drills designed to protect children also leave them unsettled, sometimes leaving lasting emotional marks. When you're using safety drills to create fear, you apply a military mindset to education. When we have a fire drill, does anyone actually set a fire inside the school? No. So these types of these active shooter simulation drills, they definitely risk doing more harm. I think we also have to look at the student because they're all unique and individual. They all have lived different lives. Some of them have lived through traumatic events and experiences. Some of them are just more sensitive and more emotional. Some of them just aren't as mature as others. They studied 114 schools, and they found sharp increases in language tied to stress, anxiety, and depression in the schools that utilized these active shooter simulations. The students who feel it the most, like I said, the ones who carry the heavier emotional burden, we risk undermining the sense of refuge for those children. Also, students with communication needs. Special needs students, students with language barriers. What does this do to them? I don't think we know. I think we're taking a huge risk to put them in these types of situations. Although this has become, I guess, the norm across the country, many experts say it's not a good thing. There was a study that ABC News reported saying that at least 40 states now have laws requiring some type of drill, but there are a few standards. This can be deeply traumatizing to students, have a negative impact on mental health. A 2021 study across 33 states showed a 40% increase in anxiety and depression in the following 3 months after these types of drills. These effects are especially pronounced among students with pre-existing mental health struggles and those who have personal experience with gun violence, or those who regularly hear gunfire in their communities, or who have survived a prior shooting. Advocacy groups like the Sandy Hook Promise, which is the nonprofit formed by the families of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, are pushing, get this, for stricter guidelines in these active shooter drills to avoid the negative effects. They recommend guidelines like including requiring that they are announced well in advance, allowing students to opt out, and regular reviews of the practices. They strongly urged against simulated gunfire, which they say, I mean, obviously that would traumatize me, much less a child. There are schools out there that use fake bullets, fake blood, janitors dressed as gunmen. I think that's probably traumatizing to these educators as well, having to watch your children terrified like that. And then here's another grim risk. Active shooter drills can also serve as a blueprint for those would-be school shooters on how to circumvent the safety measures in planning their own attack. Y'all think about that? And this is what I said yesterday, and this is what one of these studies has shown. Experts recommend focusing training efforts more with the teachers than with the students. Concentrating more efforts around prevention strategies. There's absolutely a better way. A K through 12 teacher that was interviewed in one of these studies said, I can tell you personally, just as an educator, we were not okay after these drills. We were in the bathrooms crying, shaking, not sleeping for months. The consensus from my friends and peers is that we are not okay. Another K through 12 parent that was interviewed in this study said that after drills, these kids think a villain is coming to school, and then they wonder when it's going to happen. One parent tweeted, my kindergartner was stuck in the bathroom alone during a drill and spent a year in therapy for extreme anxiety. Even in a new school, she still has to use the bathroom in the nurse's office because of PTSD from that event. The research is alarming, and why is it not being looked at is what I want to know. We should not put this burden on our children. If you want to practice lockdowns, go right ahead. If you want to practice fire drills, go right ahead. Earthquakes, go ahead. Tornadoes, do not tell our babies that an intruder's coming or an active shooter is there. Disgusting. We're going to take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back to wrap things up here on this Wednesday afternoon on the Lindsey Beckham Show. Things up here on this Wednesday afternoon on the Lindsey Beckham Show.
WYAB.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock flatbeds, WeatherGuard toolboxes, Nap-High service bodies, ARE camper tops, deck storage solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. How does real estate agent Rita Jensen succeed when time is of the essence?
In today's market, it is so important to communicate and close on time. Typically have 30 days to close, get a home inspection, appraisal, title work, that kind of thing is a mortgage process. And a realtor relationship is so important. With a realtor like Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, she helps us to close on time.
RitaJensen.net.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Lime Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Grizz Nation, your Memphis Grizzlies are back at FedEx Forum after the All-Star break on Friday, February 20th to host the Utah Jazz. Get here and get loud for the home team on Gospel Night. Grab your tickets today at grizzlies.com/tickets or at the FedEx Forum box office in Memphis.
Hi, this is Allen Allen, nurse practitioner at the MEA Medical Clinic in Flora, Mississippi. Located in the Cotton Exchange Plaza, we're here to provide patient-centered care that is thorough, compassionate, and convenient. Whether you need primary care services or same-day medical care when you aren't feeling your best, we're here to support your health.
MEA Medical Clinics.
Looking for farm fresh produce, high quality local beef, dairy, and desserts? Look no further than the Farm Store in Flora. We've got the sweetest, juiciest fruits and vibrant vegetables from Two Dog Farms, plus premium beef, all from right here in the community. Whether you're cooking up a feast or just grabbing a healthy snack, the Farm Store has got you covered. Freshness you can taste, prices you'll love. Find us on Facebook at The Farm Store by Two Dog Farm.
Malone is a company in motion, striving daily to improve the way the roofing industry operates and is perceived. A leader in commercial and residential roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. Malone means the highest quality materials delivered with expertise workmanship from a claim or construction. At Malone, you found your roofing and metal walls partner. Malone has proven for generations there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you. More info at ecmalone.com.
We are back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. I spent today's show talking about active shooter or intruder drills that are happening across the country in our schools, K through 12 schools. Can you imagine if your kindergartner came home and said, "Mom, I was really worried because in my classroom we have baby chickens and I thought they might chirp and tell the bad man where we were." That's what one of the moms said who participated in one of these studies. She said, "My son shouldn't be worried about chickens telling the bad man where he is." Although there is limited data, because this is something that's newly implemented in a lot of our schools, the data that is there overwhelmingly shows the risks far outweigh the benefits in these types of drills. I understand the need for safety drills, but I think you've taken it way too far to let children think there is an intruder in their school or to even put that into their mind. Can we just let our kids be kids? Bring innocence back to our babies. I will be emailing the school board to speak at the next school board meeting where I will be showing them the studies, the deep dive into this research that I've done the last 12 hours. And I hope they listen. There's no need to use the term intruder. Call it a lockdown drill if you must. That's all the time we got. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place. See you then. Bye.